It was supposed to be a routine late-night appearance, a chance for Sean Penn to promote his latest film and share a few laughs with Jimmy Kimmel in front of a live studio audience. But from the moment he stepped onto the stage, something felt off. The atmosphere was tense, not the usual lighthearted vibe that audiences have come to expect from Kimmel's show. Sean Penn, known for his intensity both on and off screen, seemed unusually guarded. Kimmel tried to warm up the conversation with humor, but Penn's responses were clipped, dry, and occasionally biting. Something was brewing, and neither host nor guest was backing down. What started as awkward banter quickly shifted into more serious territory. Jimmy brought up a recent political comment Penn had made during a controversial interview overseas, questioning American leadership and media ethics. It was a sore spot for Penn, who has long been outspoken about his views. Rather than brushing it off, Penn doubled down, defending his statements with sharp clarity and frustration. Kimmel, sensing an opportunity for ratings gold, pressed it further. But instead of easing tensions, his persistent line of questioning only fanned the flames. The audience's laughter grew nervous, as if unsure whether this was a bit or a real confrontation. Penn leaned forward, his voice low but firm, challenging Kimmel on what he described as the late-night circuit's complicity in numbing public discourse. Kimmel chuckled, trying to pivot the conversation back to lighter ground, but the tone had already changed. Sean wasn't playing along. "You want me to smile and nod while you mock serious issues like it's a game," he said. Kimmel, visibly caught off guard, replied, "Sean, it's a comedy show." But that only seemed to deepen Penn's irritation. The tension in the studio turned electric. You could feel the crowd holding its breath. The next moment marked a clear turning point. Kimmel, perhaps trying to regain control, joked, "Well, I guess you didn't get the comedy memo." Sean paused, then slowly stood up, removed his mic, and replied, "Maybe the problem is that we all did." The audience gasped. It was the kind of moment where silence says more than words. Sean Penn, with his signature scowl and no interest in salvaging the segment, turned his back to Kimmel and walked off stage. The camera scrambled to cut to commercial, and producers rushed in behind the scenes. The live audience sat stunned, whispering and trying to process what just happened. After the break, Kimmel returned to the screen alone, visibly rattled. He attempted to play off the moment with humor, saying, "Well, Sean Penn just left me on Read a Broken Bar Live on national television." The joke landed awkwardly. He then pivoted to a pre-taped segment, signaling to viewers that the show would not to be returning to the Penn interview. Online, clips of the walk-off went viral almost immediately. Hashtags like #SeanPennWalkOff and #KimmelClash surged on social media. The footage was dissected frame by fans and critics alike. What was meant to be a standard promotional appearance had exploded into a late-night media firestorm. The next morning, news outlets pounced. Every entertainment and political show had something to say about the incident. The story hit a nerve via two strong personalities clashing over the blurred line between entertainment and politics. Pundits debated whether Kimmel had pushed too hard or whether Penn had overreacted. Some defended Penn, saying he had every right to demand more serious discussion on serious issues. Others accused him of being self-righteous and disrespectful to the format. Kimmel's defenders said he was doing his job by asking the questions people were thinking. The debate turned into something larger than just one awkward interview. Penn, true to form, didn't stay silent. In a written statement later that day, he said, "I went on to discuss art and truth, not to play into a cycle of manufactured controversy." He also criticized late-night platforms for reducing political discourse to sound bites and punchlines. The statement reignited the debate. Critics accused Penn of hypocrisy, pointing to his many appearances on talk shows over the years. Supporters praised him for calling out what they see as a decline in meaningful conversation. Whether you agreed with him or not, one thing was clear. Sean Penn was not interested in playing the game anymore. Back at ABC Studios, sources revealed that Kimmel was not pleased, though he laughed it off on air. Privately he was said to be frustrated by how the segment unraveled. Producers reportedly debated whether to air the clip in future rebroadcasts or to cut it entirely. Legal teams even reviewed contracts to see if Penn had breached appearance terms by walking off. But since it was a live broadcast, The footage had already become public domain in the digital age. The damage or the impact was done, and as far as the internet was concerned, this was already the most talked about moment in late-night television all year. Meanwhile, celebrity reactions poured in. Some stars voiced their support for Penn's stand, applauding him for speaking truth to entertainment power. Others took Kimmel's side, reminding the public that talk shows are not the place for full-on political crusades. Even some comedians chimed in, poking fun at both parties. One tweet read, "Sean Penn just realized he wasn't on 60 Minutes. Poor guy." The incident even sparked parody videos, with actors reenacting the moment or satirizing the clash as a soap opera drama. It became more than just a news story, it became a cultural flashpoint for Penn's upcoming film. Ironically, the incident became unintentional promotion. Interest in his project spiked overnight. People who had never planned to see the movie now found themselves curious. Was this just a press stunt? Had it all been planned? Insiders denied any such motive, saying Penn is notoriously resistant to marketing gimmicks. But regardless of intention, the timing proved beneficial. Ticket pre-sales rose sharply, and his next interview, while this time with a journalist instead of a late-night host that was streamed live to a massive audience. If nothing else, Penn had succeeded in shifting the narrative from light banter to serious questions. In the days that followed, Kimmel kept his distance from the controversy. On his show, he made only brief, vague references to stormy guests, and focused on other topics. Some critics accused him of avoiding the issue, while others thought he was wise to let the moment pass. But his show's viewership saw a temporary spike. Drama sells, and people tuned in hoping for another viral moment. Behind the scenes, however, producers were more cautious. New guest protocols were discussed, and Kimmel himself reportedly took a more careful approach to preparing for interviews with notoriously serious guests. Fans of both the men remained divided. On Reddit and Twitter, fierce debates broke out about respect, tone, and the role of entertainment in public life. A new question emerged. Are we too reliant on late-night hosts to filter complex ideas for us? Sean Penn's walk-off forced that conversation into the mainstream, and while his method may have been dramatic, it did ignite genuine dialogue about how we engage with public figures, how much we expect from celebrities, and whether talk shows are still a place for real discussion or just surface-level distractions. Ultimately, the fallout served both as a cautionary tale and a powerful reminder of how unpredictable live television can be. For Kimmel, it was a lesson in knowing when to pivot. For Penn, it was a public reaffirmation of his values, no matter how uncomfortable the platform. The audience got more than just entertainment. They witnessed the clash of two worldviews in real time. And for those watching at home, it was a rare glimpse into what happens when the script falls away and two individuals confront each other without a net. It was raw, real, and unforgettable. In the end, the Sean Penn-Jimmy Kimmel confrontation became one of those moments that defines a year in pop culture. Whether seen as a meltdown, a principled stand, or just another awkward celebrity moment, it left a mark. People will continue to dissect it, meme it, mock it, and debate it for months. But beneath the noise was a core message. Sometimes, authenticity clashes hard with entertainment, and when it does, it doesn't just make for good television, it sparks something bigger, something that lingers. Just like Sean Penn walking off that stage, leaving behind a silence louder than any laugh track.